caught a little weather delay. Had to go in for about 30 minutes because of lightning, so it set us back some time-wise. But probably wasn't the kind of scrimmage I was expecting to have. I mean, it wasn't the temperament and the I don't know if it was enthusiasm, but we've gone, I think, 6-7 practices now and gotten after it pretty good. And we got it pretty good on Friday, but I didn't think we had the same juice today as a team. And both ones units were a little lethargic, not real good timing, some busts on defense, some things to clean up. Good news is we got time to clean it up. But I thought both two units, the two defense and two offense, I mean, they didn't dominate the scrimmage by any means, but they did some really good things. This is the first day you really get to see twos go against ones and ones go against twos. You get to go crossways, and then you also get to go good on good. So I thought the second offense and the second defense had some positive things done. But we got to clean up those first units. We got to make sure that everybody's kind of responding the right way and creating identity. I didn't think that we created an identity today. Some guys did some individual things with that. But with that, I'll open it up.
Was it one-on-ones, ones versus twos?
It's a rack of ones versus twos and twos versus ones, both ways. So the offense gets to go against the two defense, and then it flips after the threes go, and ones, twos. So they get a little bit of both. You get 30 plays of both ways, but the twos came out with a chip on the shoulder, I felt like, and two offense had about a 13-play drive. We only do 12 plays in a set, and they took the whole set and drove down the field and scored a touchdown. So I mean, they did some good things against the one defense. And then the same thing with the two defense against the one offense.
There was some message boards reports about Zamir White catching a 50-yard touchdown and George Pickens with a one-handed catch.
There was a ton of things out there, so maybe we should read the message boards for everything. But I'm not here to verify what was said on the message boards. I mean, there were a lot of things done out there. I can't go through play-by-play all the things that were done. I think people were talking about Zamir because they haven't seen him in a while. George is out there catching the ball every day, but so was Dom, Tyler Simmons, D-Rob, Matt Landers, Cager. I mean, all those guys were.
How many total plays did you guys get in today with a range?
Well, we almost got our quota. We almost got our 140 or 150. I think we ended up with about 115 because of the weather delay, which we probably could have gotten them in, but it would have taken us a lot longer. So we cut a couple of the kicking plays short and a little bit of the threes on threes short.
So would you say this point in camp is kind of where you've seen the up and down in the past the most, and how do you kind of address that in terms of enthusiasm?
No, I think at this point in camp it's been great. I mean, today wasn't great. Up to this point in camp, we've had some really competitive, spirited practices, and they've been going against each other for quite a while. So, I've been very pleased. I wasn't pleased today.
How's Nate McBride right now?
They're struggling with an injury. He's banged up, and he was not able to scrimmage today.
Rylan Godey as well. I know
Rylan's banged up as well. He's got an injury, and he's not able to practice right now. We think we're going to get Rylan back, and probably when school starts. So, Wednesday or Thursday.
What can you say about Brenton Cox, coach? And is there concerns when a guy like that, in several days into camp, ends up at a SEC East rival in the same season?
Concerns? I don't know about that. Brenton chose to withdraw from the University of Georgia, going to the portal. He's now at another SEC institution. So we wish him nothing but the best, and we appreciate his contributions while he's here.
Zamir with the live tackle and everything today. I mean, how do you think he handled it? How did he look?
He's had some live before today, because we've done a couple periods and things throughout. We just hadn't had a live scrimmage. I thought he was really contact tough. I mean, he was running behind his pads. He had a couple short yardage runs that were crucial, 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. He was able to churn it out and get first downs. He did have some big catches, but he had a good overall day. He's got to protect the ball. He's got to protect the quarterback. But I think everybody judges him based on what he does when the ball's in his hands. And there's a lot more to being a good running back than that.
Kirby, what were your initial impressions of the outside linebackers today, and how do you feel about the group overall?
I have to reserve the judgment on that until I see the tape. I don't know everything, how every guy played. I know Nolan made a couple plays out of the perimeter. We lost contain a couple times with Walter and Jermaine. They got to do a little better job there. Those guys are really working hard. We got some really good athletes in that group. I've been really pleased with the work ethic in that group thus far.
With one less body in that room, are you at all consider maybe moving somebody over to the outside group, or are you all right with what you're?
We have one of them on the field most snaps.
Right.
So if we have one of them on the field, there's 6 of them.
Right.
I wish we were that deep at every position.
Right.
So we don't. I mean, sometimes we get 2 of them in regular, but not a lot of people play regular anymore. So we sometimes get 2 of them in third down. We sometimes get 2 of them when people are in large point sets. But it's probably the most underutilized position because they have to take more snaps on special teams.
What about wide receivers? I mean, you touched on picking a little bit, but overall today, what did you see?
You know, it was up and down. I mean, there were some guys that made some plays, especially with the 2 group. They made some plays. The 1 group, we probably didn't have as many guys. A couple drops out there, but I've been pleased with those wide receivers' work ethic, the things they've done in practices up until today. But you know, a couple of the 2s made plays. It was like that across the board. A couple of the 1s didn't. So we've got to do a good job getting the ball in their hands, giving those guys an opportunity to make some plays.
With Demetrius Robertson, how far along is he at this time compared to where he was this time last year?
He's gotten more opportunity. You know, last year he had a plethora of guys. He had 3 draft picks in front of him, and he was coming in not knowing an offense. Now he got 3 draft picks removed, and he's the guy that's out there playing the slot, catching the balls, he did some nice things today. We got to continue to work and improve. We got Kieris, Dom, Urban. He's got a lot of guys behind him that are competing and pushing.
Kirby, you lost a first-round cornerback, but you don't hear much about people's concern. Maybe in your offices there is, but with Tyson Campbell, with Stevenson, how are some of those young guys coming along?
DJ Daniels has been a pleasant surprise. DJ Daniels done a good job. He's gone with the 1s quite a bit. Tyson got dinged up a little bit today. Hopefully he'll be back. But you know, Stokes has been going with the 1s. Tyson's gone with the 1s. DJ's gone with the 1s. Tyreek's gone in there some. So they're all getting good work. The thing that you guys want to measure is who's with the 1s, and we're trying to get matchups. So I want every corner to go against Tyler Simmons. I want every corner to go against Lawrence Cager. I want every corner to go. So the only way you get that is you move guys around. So we're just not really looking at a depth chart. We're looking at who's winning the 50-50 balls, who's not giving up big plays, who's making big plays. And it's not fair to judge a guy if he goes against, you know, the 3rd team wide out the whole time. So we've really turned those guys around.
In terms of special teams, how has Kamara looked in terms of punts and hang time?
Well, I'd have to reserve judgment on that because I know he missed 1 today, but he hit a couple other good ones. So I mean, he's done some good things in practice. We didn't you know, call from corner, pooch punt today. We're not working on that. So everything was meant to be, you know, kick it as far as you can. So you can't really go by an average. But we're working hard on his hang time and his placement. And if he can have good hang time and good placement, then we'll have good coverage. You know, we didn't have the 4 returns last year, 5 returns. So we got to do a good job of getting the hang time in there.
You look at the watch lists and pre-season teams and all that stuff. Your offensive linemen are popping up a lot, but you've also they've got to do it. They've got to put it on the field. How do you feel like they performed today in the scrimmage?
I don't know. It'll be hard to see. We have to wait and see because it's hard to tell without looking at it. You know, I know that if you're not scoring points on offense, there's probably not going to be a lot of ball lined up for awards. And you know, we didn't score a lot of points today. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things: how well you perform, what is your identity, what are you trying to create? Because there's some good players on that offensive line, but good players got to play good.
Just one Applegate with this before.
Juwan can't really go. He practices every day. He can't go on the screen. He played in 7-on-7.
When guys, go ahead.
I'll say as far as not just in general, as far as the freshmen go, are guys' heads still spinning a little bit out there? The retention been pretty good?
I think the mid-year freshmen, I don't even see them as freshmen.
Right.
I mean, they're like Lewis made some plays, man. Nolan, Kobe, all those guys that you guys have known about through last spring, they kind of like comfortable out there playing. The newest guys is George, Dom, Kenny McIntosh made some nice plays. Those guys are getting to kind of be the guys that are like, wow, this is my first scrimmage. You know, the defensive lineman, Trevon gets some work in there. Timon Bill and Zion get some work. The 2 linebackers, Ryan and Tresman, we had them all spring. We didn't get to see them do much. They got a lot of reps today. They're going to have to be guys that can really help us on special teams in order to make the bus, to make the trip. And both those guys are picking things up well. They're not ahead of the guys older than them yet, though.
When guys talk, when some of your players talk about Zamir, they mention, they're excited to see him back, how hardworking he is. Where do you think that sort of excitement comes from their perspective?
because that's human nature. I mean, when you see a guy go through what he's been through, who's not pulling for Zamir White? I mean, every guy on our staff, every player on our team has seen his ups and downs and the rehab he's done. I mean, he's on the sideline for a whole year just working out and running. So when he gets an opportunity to come out there and gain some confidence and have some success, I think everybody's pulling for it. And defensive players, it's hard to pull for him because you got to tackle him. You know, it's not easy to go up there and tackle him. He's a full-grown man and he's out there running.
I had to ask you a ton just so far yet about Brian Harrigan and then how he's been doing.
Brian had a good scrimmage. Brian comes to work every day. He's a lunch pail guy. He works his tail off. Caught the ball out of the backfield. He protected. He had one long explosive run. I don't know how far it was, but he had a good run. I mean, Brian's a guy that every day he's out there. He's Brian. He loves football.
You've talked before about wanting maybe as many as 5 inside linebackers to kind of rotate and match up. Do you feel like, you know, with some of the guys you got around that you're close to that, or is it at this point in
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever said I wanted 5.
As
I'd
many
rather
as
have
5.
one really good.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, give me Roquan and I don't have to play 5. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know that you want 5. I think you've got to have enough depth in our league, but the more you have to sub, you're specializing. Because this guy does this good, this guy does this good, this guy does this good. You really want to have some continuity of 2 to 3 guys that are able to go in there and play. We just don't have a lot of separation right now, especially among our top 3. And I thought last year we were able to spell and keep guys fresh by playing 3. It's going to be important now that we get 4th and 5th guy that can learn but can play on all those special teams. Because if you lose one of those 3, one of those guys has got to be able to step up and go play.
Talking about, you said Dwan's not camp really ready to go right now. How's Stetson looking as a backup? And then, you know, you got 3 or 4 walk-on guys that have joined the team as quarterbacks too. Any of those guys that you can tell us anything about?
Yeah, Stetson had a good day today. I thought Stetson, you know, he executed the offense. He was behind that. It seemed like the longest drive ever against the one defense with the 2 offense. They were really steady, really consistent, converted 3rd and 1, converted to 4th and 1, just kept going. I mean, it was a long drive, and he executed well. He moved around the pocket well. I mean, he did some good things. 3rd down period, I want to say they won 6 or 7 of 8. I mean, it was 2s on 2s, and he converted a lot of 3rd downs. I mean, he did some good things. So I'm proud of Stetson for that. He worked really hard on doing that. He still got some areas that he can improve on from checks and making the right decisions late in games, 2-minute, things like that. But he's done some good things. And the Priestley kid we brought in, once we knew Dwan was going to be there, he did some good stuff with the 3s. You know, he's a kid that was talented. He had an ACL his junior year, so he didn't get seen. Had a pretty good senior year. And he's one of our walk-on players that took a lot of reps with the 3s that I thought did a good job today.
Did the first team offensive line play to its standard, and did anybody stand out on the D-line?
He didn't play with standard. What do you mean?
Play to its standard?
Well, you know, it's hard to measure because we didn't run the ball every single snap like a lot of the games. We go out there and we're a real physical team and get after it. I can tell you the standard to me is not that you're going to go out against a 2 defense and not score on 50% or 60% of your possessions. You got to go and convert and score, but that's not all on them. It's on the entire unit as a whole to execute, to come out and wide receivers catching balls, quarterbacks doing things, running backs breaking tackles, and the O-line dominating the line of scrimmage. And we didn't do that today, not with the one offensive line. We didn't. But those guys rolled. Cade and Ben, you know, rotated like they've been doing, and Cade rotated some at center too.
At this point in camp, how much have y'all worked kicking, punt returns, and who are guys that have emerged there?
Yeah, we do kicking. We do punt return, punt every day, or kickoff return every day. So Tyler Simmons, Kyrus Jackson, DeAndre Swift, Erdman have all been back there. Kickoff return, some of the same guys, the D-Rob, James Cook. There's been about 6 guys back there on punt returns and kick returns. Today, because we only had a limited number, Tyler, Kyrus, and I think Erdman and Dom were back there.
Is Blaylock not in the mix?
That's what's Dom.
Dom, I thought you meant
Dom was back there today. I missed him initially, but he was back there today.
You mentioned Cade was rolling at center and guard. Is he doing any tackle still like he did last year?
He's going to do some tackle, and he's done some tackle in practice. We just didn't do that with him today, but he's going to get some left tackle work as we advance. We wanted the meat and potatoes to be guard and center, and then after the first scrimmage, we're going to say, okay, you can get some tackle, but he's still in a battle for that guard spot.
2 more questions.
What does it say about K that you're moving him and trying him at a bunch of different positions?
Well, first off, he's versatile. He's an athlete. We can't let that be a detriment to him, because if he can be in the starting five, he needs to be in the starting five. But his value also is that he can snap. He's athletic center, and if you can play center, left tackle, and guard, you know you're pretty talented, and you're bright. And he's really tough, man. He plays hard. He plays tough and physical. So he's a bright spot for us, but he's in a battle for a spot.
Has anything stood out to you about your defensive line thus far? Not just today, throughout the whole thing. About you got 6 seniors, you sound some talented freshmen. Is there anything kind of jumped out at you about that group?
I won't say anything's jumped out. I mean, the freshmen are all brand new, so they're a little bit overwhelmed. I mean, they're not like out there, knowing everything to do. They're still playing with a little bit of, I'm not real sure about this because they weren't here mid-year. And then the seniors, you got David coming off of Liz Frank. He doesn't get all of his reps. Julian's coming off an ACL. He doesn't get all of his reps. So 2 of those guys are kind of spot players. They're not out there taking every single rep. So Tyler gets a lot of the work. Mike B gets a lot of the work. Jordan's done some good things. Devontae Wise played really physical and played well. Tramel's come on some as well. But I mean, we've got to play better on the line. We got to cause more havoc. We've done that in some practices, but we haven't done that consistently. That's where we got to be able to do that with those guys up front.
If I could add, Austin Hannah's been with us, as you know, for 2 years in grad school. He's done, and he's going to work next week at Colorado State.
Oh,
Hey!